Okay. Oh, you
He came in.
Today we're going to be doing ballroom.
And the dance we're going to be learning is salsa, but with a modern edge to it. And you've woken up late for a show, and you're going to put on that show, and that's what the dance is about.
This routine consists of a lot of lifts and tricks, and we really wanted to get stuck into that first.
So scary, so scary.
Looking at Talia, you would never imagine that she would be so fearless.
I trust that Laredo is going to be there for me.
Sorry, I need a break.
I'm afraid of hurting her. I got freaked out, I got nervous, and I started to panic.
For Laredo and I, it's a massive big test. Luckily, we're communicating really well.
I'm just hoping that we nail those tricks and it will come across as though we've been partners for years.
Dancing for the first time together. Give it up for Talia and Laredo. Before the break, Talia and Laredo danced a salsa routine. We know you liked it. Now it's time to hear from our judges. Bonnie.
Is it possible that these two dancers are new partners this week?
Yes.
I'd never have guessed. Those lifts, you'd have thought you'd been working together for weeks and weeks and weeks. That one where you do the full pressage and you go over the head, the kind of dirty dancing-y kind of lift, but then you're spinning around. That takes courage, Talia. How did you feel? Because your body's over his back.
At some points when we were doing rehearsals, I was so far over that when I let go, my whole body just kind of flopped onto him. But, you know, we just had to work out exactly where to get our weight. And
both of you did such an excellent job for the first time working together. Hands up to you both.
Jason.
Okay, Nat. That's a high-energy salsa routine, and that's a lot of steps in 1 minute and 45 seconds. You probably did twice as many or 3 times as many steps as other dancers have done there tonight, just to fit that all in. And well choreographed by Luda and Oliver. Well done, everybody. Yeah, good job. Really well choreographed for dancers that aren't experienced salsa dancers, which leads me on to talking about Talia for a second. Talia, I want to point out to the people at home that many ballet dancers can't do what you do. Yeah, they can't actually loosen it up. They can't throw their hair. They can't give that because they're just too held. I think you're a remarkable young dancer considering your classical technique. Laredo, your lack of experience in lifts doesn't show, and it's probably due to that amazingly strong physique that you've got going on there. I'm on my boat all the time about dancers being tuned, and you're certainly well tuned there, fella. And that's really carrying you through areas here where you're not so experienced. The great full pressage lift at the end, I loved it. Good routine. Nice way to finish the show. Well done.
Thank you. Matt.
I think you two are yet to have a moment in the show where people go, my God, what about Talia in that? Or what about Laredo in that? Or what about that routine as like, you know, as this big kind of talk about the next day moment. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you two, if you're back next week, maybe tackle a genre that's close to both what you do, because I think if you've got a contemporary lyrical, that would be your moment.
Wow. Thanks, guys. Mary.
Well, this should have been hot, hot, hot for me, and I'm afraid to say it left me a little bit cold. And I'll tell you why, Laredo. You have just got to drop that center weight down and get into it, and you did not. You were all up on your toes as you're dancing your salsa. Yes, the lifts were tremendous. Yes, I thought you made a really strong partner. But if you make it through and keep going, you have got to do something in that Latin action. Get off of those toes, drop that center weight, connect that center to your arms and back so that you get a more rhythmical action going on. It was just too up here for me. And you, young lady, I have never seen a ballet dancer do the salsa like you do. You were one hot cookie out there. And wow, I do have to say, I will put you on that train. Yes, I will.
I want to go on that train too.
Girl, you invented the hot tamale train. What are you talking about? Look at this girl in that dress tonight.
It is up to you, Australia, to vote for Laredo or Talia. SMS their names to 191010 or call 1902 55 55 67. Remember, how you vote determines who is safe and who will be dancing for their life.